San Antonio Spurs have signed Zack Collins to a 3-year deal worth $22 million as they look to try and fill the void of DeMar DeRozan leaving. And Zack Collins is more of a center power forward guy, and he will offer some depth at that center spot. But of course, DeMar DeRozan also played a significant amount of power forward for the San Antonio Spurs last year, and Rudy Gay, who has now left the team, has also played a fair bit of power forward for them. So Zack Collins, who can be that 4/5 guy for them, is going to be valuable for their depth moving into this season. Of course, injury is going to be a concern for him as he is coming off of a big injury where he only played 11 games last year. He did start those 11 games for Portland, and pardon me, that was in the 2019-2020 season. Of course, he did not play at all last year, and so it has been a long time since we've seen Zack Collins on an NBA court. And so the fact that they were willing to give him $22 million is a bit surprising, but this is a former 10th overall pick, someone who still has a bit of upside, someone who can give you a little bit of floor spacing, a little bit of rim protection, some rebounding ability. Whether they play him more at the 4 or the 5 remains to be seen. But they do have a little bit more depth now. Of course, they have made that DeMar DeRozan sign and trade, which if you want to hear a little bit more in-depth my thoughts about that, I will be releasing a video about that later tonight. But they have a bit more depth now, and behind that, Doug McDermott is going to be that starting 3, and now have Thaddeus Young, who can be that 3 or their 4, but adding in another guy who can be their backup at the 4, or if they don't want Drew Eubanks to be that guy, then they can have Zack Collins be their backup at the 5 and behind Jakob Poeltl. So it just adds a bit more flexibility to their depth, which I think is a good thing for the San Antonio Spurs. Their depth is not absolutely abundant right now, especially within their bigs. They do have some younger guards that they can flip around with, like Trey Jones, like Joshua Primo, and Devin Vassell. But they don't really have those types of bigs. Keldon Johnson being their only young big that looks to be promising. Drew Eubanks, you could argue that either way. But I think it's a good signing for the San Antonio Spurs. It's still someone who's young, yet to turn 24, has some upside. If he can return properly from his injury at good health, then he can definitely be valuable for the San Antonio Spurs on this deal. Now, it's possible he does get injured again, or he just isn't that healthy, and this is a deal you kind of just have to eat. But at 6.9, 7.3, and 7.7 million a year, it's not overly detrimental. It is only a 3-year deal, so at least you're not getting locked in 4 years, or then at least 3-year deal. He's bad this year. Yeah, eat him for a year, and then you trade him on the last year of his contract if he is still in the league and playing. It's not the worst thing in the world. But that is my thoughts on the Zack Collins signing for the San Antonio Spurs. It could be one that really pays off, or it could be one that ends up having them eat a bit of salary due to the risk of Zack Collins and his injury. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Zack Collins and his potential fit in the San Antonio and his signing with San Antonio. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to hear my thoughts on all of the other free agency signings that have happened so far in the last 24 hours, then be sure to click the box on the right hand side of the screen. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.